Ms. Kelkar, you have worked with the states in developing their climate action plans. So while at national level we are seeing some laudable policies, ambitious targets, what has been your experience with state of climate action in these states? And do you think that they are becoming proactive and it is making much more economic sense for them? And I want you to talk about both coal and non-coal rich states.
Okay. Thanks, Shreya. So we work with a range of states. We've worked with very industrialized, developed states like Tamil Nadu, which are coming up with very proactive climate policies, climate change mission at the district level. We're also working very much with states like Bihar. Bihar government has recently come up with a long-term strategy for climate resilience and low-carbon development. So certainly, I think in all of the states that we are seeing, there is this focus not just on looking beyond the state action plans on climate change, which were these 5-year timeframes, but looking longer term at how there might be green opportunities coming through investments in low carbon sectors. But I'd like to draw your attention to some of the states, because you hinted at that in your question, which actually lose out on multiple fronts. So with states like Bihar, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, these are highly vulnerable to climate change on the one hand. They're very hot, flood prone in the case of Bihar. Secondly, they often tend to have high dependence on fossil fuels and actually sometimes low potential for renewable energy. So if you look at the wind power, it's all concentrated in the south and the west of the country and not in the north or east. Bihar, for example, has so much intensively cultivated land and such a high population density that if it has to become net zero, it will have to buy renewable energy from other states. And thirdly, the point that I mentioned earlier, that because the economic diversification is low, will these states benefit from the new green jobs, the new green opportunities that are coming up? Will there be skill development for the population? And although for the national government, 25% of the tax revenue comes from fossil fuels, for states like Jharkhand and Chhattisgarh, it could be as high as 30%, 20% that is coming. So on all of these fronts, vulnerability as well as the shift to low carbon, some of these states might lose out and will need special attention. So I want to basically highlight 3 examples very briefly where these states can also benefit from this green transition. The first, as Sunita mentioned, the focus on MSMEs. So could you have circular economy-based jobs in MSMEs? It could be recycling of steel scrap, as you spoke about, or battery waste, EV waste, solar waste. Now, this will have to be, the entire supply chain will have to be worked out. A procurement policy can definitely play a role in this, not just a skilling policy. The second is that you will need sustainable cooling, cold chains in agriculture and in health. So here again, these can be based on decentralized renewable energy. And the third I want to talk about is climate budget tagging, which is a policy that is being adopted by a lot of states, like Odisha was the first, and now even cities like Mumbai has just come up with one, where it becomes a tool to identify what fraction of your budget in every scheme in every department is going towards climate-friendly actions. So it helps you mainstream these concerns into your ongoing policies to track them over time, monitor them over time, and make sure that they increase over time. So again, many of these examples that I've given you are from finance, from industrial policy, procurement policy, and all of these types of instruments can be used by states to further climate action.
Thank you.